Welcome to the Hollywood Garbage Dump Review. It's a section of our playlist where we consider movies or other productions from Hollywood to determine if there's anything unusual in the imagery or expressions or dialogue, unusual in that it doesn't seem to fit the title or theme. Now, specifically, we're looking for things that might communicate various ideas or attempts or represent attempts to influence other people without their knowing, involving ideas they don't actually accept. So let's take a look and see if there's anything that stands out to you. I'll point out if there's anything that stands out to me, and then we'll determine whether or not this seems like it's a good movie. Okay, so let's take a look at this trailer here for Making Babies, set for release in later this month, March 29th. Stars Eliza Coupe, Steve Howey, Ed Begley Jr. Written and directed by Josh F. Huber. And so let's take a look and see what it's about. Okay, right away, and I knew this was coming, so I had to be quick to pause it. You'll notice it's 1 second in. Not even, well, I should say it's probably either just under or just over a second in. Seemed like it was just under a second. But either way, you can clearly see the cross on the stained glass window behind what appears to be jail bars. It doesn't match the same slat pattern as on the side with the wood that you can see is consistent with the beams. You can see the in-between slats. Here there are none. This is very much like jail bars where you can put your hands through, grab on, but you can't get through. It looks to me exactly like jail bars. Not that I've been behind them, but I've seen them enough to know that that's what they are. And it does not match this pattern. So either way, it appears to me to be a cross behind jail bars inside of a pyramidal structure, as you can see by the angles of these beams. So right away, the very first image, within a second of a movie on making babies, there appears to be the imagery that one would associate with Christianity being in prison or putting one in prison, and it itself being imprisoned within this pyramidal structure or Illuminati type system, potentially. Those are the ones who use the pyramid most often. So that's what it seems when you take a good close look at it with a knowledge of those symbols and the differences between the patterns that are shown.
Did you tell your mother you're taking a pregnancy test?
She memorized my ovulation schedule.
What tip I forgot to give you? We raised my hips in the air, and then that way gravity pulled his semen into my uterus.
All right, we'll just have her do a handstand. How's that?
So, I realize that these movies have comedy, and we need to relax at times and not get too uptight about light moments in movies, even if they're about things as serious as making babies. But they are in a church. And they're at a wedding. So where should their attention be? What's the idea being communicated again here? That you can be in a church, that you can be at a wedding ceremony. Two things that should inspire a person with some kind of reverence, right? Their minds are completely apart from those two things because they're in a discussion about something else, and that is the different ways in which one would be better able to conceive. So remember that part, though, about the handstand, because that'll come up a little bit later, as we'll see. But I just think it's not it's a terrible representation of how a person should be when you're either at a wedding, which is a serious solemn event, or in a church for a religious ceremony. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. Talk about these things before, after, or again, you don't have to come and distract people or others about sex.
We've been trying to get pregnant since we got married.
Okay, now, they talk about trying to get pregnant since they got married. So when you first look at this image, what does it seem like? It seems like this is their family, right? That their kids are right here. Mom's looking down at them. Dad's walking up with a smile. He's got the boxes. He's unloading, bringing them into the house. But these aren't their kids. It's just what it seems like it is in association with this gigantic pyramid on the front of the house. And if you look inside it on the windows here and outside on the windows here, here, all across here, and here, what do you see? You see pyramids all over the place, here and here, as above, so below. You have a full diamond and a full diamond pattern, so there's a pyramid above and a pyramid below. And to get the diamond pattern, you connect these lines from going at the bottom and from the top to the sides. But if you go beyond the connecting point, you get the Freemasonic symbol of the square and the compass. So they're all here. And you even get another pyramid made out of the diamond and two below pyramids here. And then you get the same thing going above. See, this would be a pyramid above. This is the point, and this is the base. So there's pyramids all over the place on these windows and on the front of the house in this gigantic elevation representation. And so keep that in mind too, this diamond pattern. That's going to come up again. It's not an accident. So you have the as above, so below. You have the multiple pyramids, and then you have this diamond pattern. She's coming into the house. Once again, we see highlighted pyramids, as above, so below. You have the diamond pattern. We can see it very clearly. And the Freemasonic symbol. Like you see here, you have the square and the compass on all of those representations. It's right in your face.
We've got to face the facts. What we've been doing is not working.
Do you think we've been doing it wrong? Well, we should try reverse cow.
Yeah, they like to reverse things too. But take a look here. You have what in this scene isn't a big deal. Just a beer glass, partially drank. But look up in the corner here. You have 3 6-pointed stars. And those are not the Star of David. And that has nothing to do with the Bible or the biblical King David. But look at how they tuck these 3 stars up in the right corner here. You have the hidden point, but you can still make it out, and you can see it here as well. I'll put a link in the description below to give you more information about what the real history and origin is of the 6-pointed star. But let's go forward.
As a woman, this is the one thing I'm supposed to be able to do, and I can't do it.
One thing you're supposed to be able to do as a woman is help a man. The one thing a man is supposed to be able to do is to praise Jah and love a woman. That's 2 things. But loving Jah is number 1. And then loving the woman. The woman is to help the man praise Jah. And then to also bear his children. So she's correct in that respect. But that she's not correct in that the one thing she's supposed to be able to do is have a child. She can easily help a man praise Jah, and then Jah would be able to assist her in whatever way if she's able to have children. Much like Abraham and Sarah. But that doesn't always happen to people. We realize that. Either way, her focus is on her, in her mind, the one thing she's made to do, have a baby. And she says that in the context of drinking during midday, it seems like. 1, 2, 3, 4 beers and 2 bottles of wine. Let's see how that develops.
Go see a doctor, and if it doesn't work out, I'll give you one of my kids.
Hard pass.
Okay, so I was going to pause it there earlier, but this is actually a better shot where it shows the full table. And so you have the 2 women here. Again, it's very obvious that this is about midday. They're watching the kids. They're her kids. And look at the table. Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beers, maybe 8. And 2 wine glasses. I think that's water. 2 wine bottles. This one's pretty much gone. This one's almost gone. Yet they seem pretty much in control, right? You wouldn't even know that they were inebriated or drunk at all. But yet, how could they not be? Right? I mean, and she's wearing, of course, the purple pants, which represents destruction. That'll come up again later. But keep in mind this excessive amount of alcohol during midday while they're watching the children. And she just casually remarks that the lady can have one of her kids if she can't conceive.
Katie, let's talk about your uterus. It's one of the finest specimens I've ever seen.
I think I'm blushing.
When did you last have a sperm analysis?
Sorry, what?
So we find out now that he's actually potentially the problem, not her, which we were led to believe at first. And so, they did a good job of kind of sucking you in on that level. But so now the man is the problem, not the woman. In fact, she's not only not the problem, he had never seen anything so good. So this is the contrast that they want you to see. Notice also here you have the yellow representation on this side with the blue on this side. That's going to come up repeatedly.
I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can perform.
What do you mean?
Okay, let's go back to that moment, that lobby shot. Right there. Remember I told you you'd see that pattern again? Look at that. There's the diamond pattern, square and compass, as above, so below pyramids, with the black and white hat band. And this number 42 is also not an accident. Number 42 has meaning in numerology, involving nurturing, primarily focused on individuals, family, and community. Resonates with a pragmatic approach for assisting individuals, relationships, to what 42 decides is real. The energy the number 42 represents is idealistic, also pragmatic. And it's a nurturer, nurturing individuals, family and community towards the idealism 42 has assumed. So that's what they're communicating here, the idea of nurturing family in numerological terms, which is different than, of course, maybe putting a scripture up here to love your wife or do things that might facilitate the kind of feelings and physical responses. I'm not suggesting that they would have to do that, but again, they prefer to go with numerology in a movie about making babies. Plus the hat.
You mean it's not karaoke.
If it helps, we do allow wives to assist.
Oh, this is like...
Okay, now before she finishes what she says, which is also very significant, notice you got the smiley face tissue box down here. Got a lot of yellow on this side too, plus her shirt, putting her on this side. And then it gets more lighter, or I would say icy blue, according to his jeans, shirt, band of lighter blue here, the bottle top. Look at the bag too in the trash. Looks like a heart to me, like his heart's in the trash. But you clearly, again, shows a division between what I would call yellow and light blue, or sun and moon representation. She's on the side of the sun with the yellow smiley face box, which represents death and destruction. I'm going to put a link in the description. You'll see how it comes up over and over, especially in recent movies, and conveys those ideas, as well as emotional imbalance. So now listen to what she says after hearing that this face represents death and destruction.
Like the set of a Saw movie.
Okay, so did you see that? After she says it looks like the inside of a set of a Saw movie, and we all know that the Saw movie series is some of the worst garbage that's ever been put to film, conveys horrible images that destabilize the mind and are not healthy in any respect, let alone in a movie, or I was going to say in a movie about making babies, or in a room where you're about to be a part of the process of making a baby. You bring up that it's like the inside of a Saw movie, and it flashes to what? The little smiley face that represents death and destruction. Okay, so then we get a bunch of these images from the calendar, and every single one of them for a month that it shows has either a pentagram, 5-pointed star, or a smiley face. And I'm going to try to stop it on each one of them to show you that. But a couple of them are a little difficult to get. So December, pentagram. January, smiley face. February, pentagram. And then March is coming in. This is a tough one to get, but you can see a smiley face is coming in, whereas the pentagram for February is leaving. I told you March was a tough one to stop on. Here in April, you get 3 pentagrams. May, you get a smiley face. June, you get a smiley face. July, you get a pentagram. August, you get a pentagram. In September, this is the hardest one to get, but you can see it's a pentagram there. And I missed October. Let me get back to that. I want to show you October. I want to get all the months in there. Yeah. 3 pentagrams for the final month. And here it cuts again. Notice once again, you have the light blue on this side, what I believe represents the moon, blending into the yellow or sun side of the rooms.
All these things, and nothing's...
Here you have again a pentagram in the starfish on the wall, and looking in the mirror. The mirror is showing you the reflection of what's over here in the front window, which is the square and compass Freemasonic symbol. Let me go back to that. Square and compass Freemasonic symbol. Right here. And the diamond with the upside, as above, so below, pyramids. Now, and we get, you saw that little smiley face cup. Let me just show it to you again real quick. So, just a close-up shot of the smiley face involving death and destruction or emotional confusion. He's holding the cup again. You don't see the face, but that's the same cup.
It's like a little bit lumpy going down.
I'm pumping Katie up with all these drugs like she's some racehorse.
Just don't tell me when you're gonna do it. Just do it. No, tell me when
Just do it. Like Thelema, do what thy will.
you're gonna do it. No. Don't tell me when you're gonna do it. Don't tell me when you're. Oh,
Total confusion.
yeah, there it is.
I did it.
Okay, so here you have a lot. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, it looks like, bottles of medication. You have over half-drunk beer during midday. Very clear outside. The background, again, you see the windows, square and compass symbol, diamonds, as above, so below, pyramids. And you have the bag, purple representing destruction, the combination of the colors of blue and red, which she is wearing.
I've got a good feeling about this.
A life isn't
Tattoo on her arm. Never looks good to me, but hey, people get to choose.
something that should be ordered from a catalog.
Have you ever thought of alternative methods?
And what does the package include?
Nano acupressure, a lunar fornication calendar.
This guy, they're going to him for some help, but the reference to fornication in the context of what they're doing in a relationship where they're trying to have a baby, fornication comes from the Greek word porneia, which is where we get the word pornography, and involves an excessive pursuit or involvement with sex that becomes idolatrous, or so unusual in ways that it seems idolatrous. But then again, he did say she was going to do a handstand, so who knows?
Sorry, what was that last part?
It's an app. It sounds an alarm when it's time to smash.
I'm in. We're in. I didn't know that having baby...
Look at this. Look at her coat. Pyramids, as above, so below. Cube. More, and looks like they brew beer in the garage.
He's with you meant not having sex with you.
No, stop it.
Getting hand jobs in Trent Reznor's kill room.
Get it in the Tupperware.
They're getting arrested.
Let me show you that number on the wall here, 8406. And you see the association of the woman with the officer against the man. And if you add 8 plus 4, that's 12. And 6, that's 18. And there's only 3 numbers on there. So that gives you 3 6s. And that may or may not have been their intent, but I don't think anything is an accident when it comes to setting up these scenes. So they're essentially saying the beast system is going to involve this kind of relationship against the man.
Arrested.
Most cops hate it when perps run, but I enjoy that brisk cardio blast of a foot race.
Nothing in life is fair.
Here you have the man. Remember earlier, the 2 women, they had the 2 bottles of wine and about 4 or 5 beers each. They were in total control watching the kids. Here it's midday. He's smashed and he can't handle anything. The kids are not there. He can't watch them. We've got multicolored orbs. Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I think 17, 18 beers. But notice the contrast between him and those women earlier. More beers, too. Excessive level of alcohol, especially for a movie about making babies.
Maybe right now you are not meant to have kids.
Baby or no baby.
Here again, you get her shirt, her coat. They put it here even in this scene just to give you more pyramid, as above, so below.
It's not matter if I don't have you.
What kind of underslap?
Here, the drinking here fits more with the bar scene, but again, combined with everything we've seen to this point, it's a lot of alcohol for a making babies movie. And you get another smiley face, this time in neon skull form.
Do you wear boxers or briefs?
Breathe over.
There you go.
And that's pretty much it. Looks like garbage time's trash to me. I'll still probably see it just so I can finish a full review on this, but notice how much we observed in 2 minutes and 29 seconds of the movie that really had nothing to do with the movie, but more with pyramidology, as above, so below, imagery, color imagery, excessive alcohol, excessive use of medications. You had unusual diamond patterns in different locations, as well as numerology associated with the fertility clinic, all in one small trailer about a movie that's supposed to be about making babies.